Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream, another Flex Talks live stream where we're talking all things football, but we're throwing a little bit of other stuff in there as well as usual. With all these live streams and all these videos, as always, make sure to tell me where you're watching from today. Make sure to tell me what you're up to today. Let me know a little bit about yourself if you're new as well. Lovely to have you here with us on this Monday afternoon. But for the most part, we are talking football, and there is a big topic at hand for us to discuss here today, and that is whether or not Arsenal are soon to become the next champions-elect. Now, that may not be music to the ears of a lot of people, myself included, of course, but that is potentially the reality that we are about to face this season. Arsenal have been looking incredible so far this campaign, and everything that could be going right for Arsenal is going right, and this weekend was no exception. This weekend was pretty much perfect as far as what Arsenal are concerned, and pretty much imperfect for all of Arsenal's potential rivals. We had Chelsea lose against Sunderland, Liverpool lost to Brentford, Man City lost to Manchester City, and Arsenal, of course, managed to win in what could have been a very tough fixture against Crystal Palace, and as a result, not only help them gain 3 more points over their rivals, but also see them stretch their lead at the top of the table to 4 points. They are looking incredible. They are looking impenetrable. They are looking like, well, dare I say it, Premier League champions come the end of the campaign. And with the falterings of both Liverpool and Manchester City especially, it seems as though we could already be seeing the end of the Premier League title race before it has even begun. Unless there is going to be some sort of major redemption from both City and from Liverpool, or whether there's going to be a surprise challenger. Bournemouth are currently second. Sunderland occupied second from Saturday. Seems very unlikely an unlikely challenger will arise, but not out of the realms of complete possibility. Are we going too premature, though? Or is this genuinely Arsenal's for the taking? That is what we're going to be asking for today. That is what we're going to be diving into today, among other footballing and other topics. But as always, like I say, hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. And as always, get involved in the comment section. Always lovely to hear from you all. Always lovely to talk to you and to hear your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, as a few of you already are in there. Big up Marco, who's already in the building. Hello, he just simply says hello to you, my bro. Lovely to have you here. Alex is in the building as well. Lovely to have you here as well, my bro. Lovely to see you. Why are we losing so much? Oh, bro, there's so many issues to do with our team. We might dive into it a little bit more today, but I think the main stem is from the manager. In all honesty. So yeah, it seems to stem from the manager, but there are a lot of issues to do with Liverpool Football Club right now. Big up to Jordan, who's in the chat. Go and subscribe to Jordan's channel, guys, if you haven't already. Doing some incredible stuff over there, showing some love and support to my bro over there. Big up to you, my bro. He simply says we need to give Arsenal the title. I mean, I don't simply want to roll over for them, and I'm hoping that if it ain't going to be Liverpool, it's going to be someone else that's unlikely to be challenging them. But right now, they are looking exceptionally good, Arsenal, it has to be said. Still early, says Alex, absolutely. But we'll get into why I think it could already be over. And we are so cooked. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Let's challenge for the UCL. I mean, if we're struggling in the Premier League, bro, imagine what PSG are going to do to us. Imagine what Real Madrid are going to do to us. Imagine what Barcelona are potentially going to do to us going forward. Yeah, I'm a little worried, has to be said. Big up Reluctant Gamer is in the chat. Hope you're doing well, my bro. Big win for you the other day. Yeah, Newcastle going strong at home still. Very, very good result overall for your lot yet again. The pain continues. Absolutely, it does. I know it's still early, but I don't know. I'm still a bit worried as I was. If you've seen my reaction video to the defeat on Saturday, yeah, you'll know where I kind of stand right now in terms of Liverpool, slot, the team, and everything else in between. So, yeah, do check that out if you haven't already. But I'm kind of in the mud. Kind of in the mud to get into. But yeah, Arsenal was where I want to start. As I mentioned before, it was the perfect weekend as far as what Arsenal were concerned. Everything that could have gone right for Arsenal went right, and everything that could have gone wrong for Arsenal's rivals went ultimately wrong. It could have been a very difficult game for the Gunners against Crystal Palace. Liverpool know from first-hand experience how difficult Palace can be. But it's got to a point now where opposition teams are barely laying a glove on Arsenal. They are barely laying a glove on Arsenal, and that's how it proved to be. Arsenal's defence, again, proved to be impenetrable. Arsenal's attack, whilst not firing completely on all cylinders, had enough about them to, of course, get the one goal that they needed to be the difference maker. 1-0 to the Arsenal, the famous historical reference of Arsenal Football Club. It's all that they needed. It's all that they needed. And as long as they keep winning games, that's just how it's going to be for Arsenal now going forward. It's difficult to see how they bottle this. I mean, it's Arsenal, so I guess anything could be possible. But at the same time, like, it is in Arsenal's hands. The perfect scenario has once again handed itself to Arsenal to win the league. City faltering. And I did mention previously about talking about Manchester City that my biggest worry for City is if Haaland's goals stop, if Haaland's goals dry up, who's going to be the one to step forward? Who's going to be the one to be the man to fill his shoes? Who's going to be the one to step up with the output when it matters most? And this weekend proved that City still have a problem if teams can find a way to stop Erling Haaland. And that's exactly what Villa did. They stopped Erling Haaland, and therefore they ultimately stopped Manchester City for the most part. Now, that's not going to be for every game. That's not going to be for every and all game that Manchester City play. But for the vast majority of games, as was proven last season as well, by the way, if City are neutralised in that particular area, do they have something to fall back on? Arsenal have set pieces, for example. City don't necessarily have a consistent output other than the Norwegian goal machine known as Erling Haaland. Liverpool faltering. Major problems all over the pitch. Liverpool do not look good in any area of the pitch. They'll look good for a few spells during the game, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. But other than that, we've not been consistent. We've not been great. Our best performances have come in Europe this season. Other than that, Liverpool have been shockingly bad. And it stems from the head coach. Like, the players have to take some sort of responsibility as well. There's no doubt about it. But it stems mainly from the head coach, who has set up incorrectly in the majority of games that we've lost. He has performed poorly in terms of his tactical awareness, his tactical setup, his substitutions, all of those kind of things he's flopped at. And the main reason why I do blame him is because he's not finding solutions to these issues. And not only is he not finding solutions to these issues, but he's also, what's the word I'm looking for here? He's also... It's not like it's one or two poor individual performances. It's the entire team. The entire team is flopping miserably. If it was one or two individuals, you can pinpoint one or two individuals, but there's no scapegoating here. There's no saying, well, this player's bad, so it's his fault. This player's bad, so it's his fault. It's the entire team. One or two good individual performances here and there. Like I say, I think Szoboszlai has been probably our best player all season, which says a lot considering that he's been played as a makeshift right back for about half of it. I think Jones was good on Saturday. I think before these past couple of games, Van Dijk was solid, but hasn't necessarily been that good since. I think Ekitike has been great this season. Our only summer signing to really hit the ground running so far this campaign. But other than that, I can't really say that there's been too many players that have been really good or great this season, other than those 3/4. It's been shocking. So with Liverpool faltering, with Man City faltering, with there being no history consistency-wise of any other team that may forge some sort of unlikely title challenge this season being able to do so, I hardly see a Bournemouth or a Sunderland being able to maintain the consistency throughout the season to challenge Arsenal. Chelsea obviously having their own issues. Man United taking it one step at a time, not getting ahead of themselves towards title challenges, but getting back into Champions League and things like that. This is why I say that this title race may already be over before it's even begun, because all Arsenal need is for their attack to start firing on all cylinders. And, you know, maybe Victor Gyökeres eventually does fire on all cylinders. Maybe the return of Kai Havertz could be a revelation for Arsenal going forward. That could be possible. And then if that is the case, Arsenal are at full capacity. Arsenal are complete. Because they look impenetrable. They look solid defensively. Their midfield is so incredibly balanced. And their attack, like I say, if it just managed to put teams to the sword, they would look unstoppable. I do worry that maybe one or two injuries to key players could be a bit of a stumbling block for Arsenal. I think if Declan Rice gets injured in midfield, that could be a massive stumbling block. I think that if Gabriel gets injured in defence, it'll be interesting to see how Arsenal cope with that. But at the same time, like, this is Arsenal's to lose now. And Arsenal fans won't like me saying it, but it's genuine. It's true. And part of the reason I do say that, by the way, is because Arsenal fans were very keen to say it to Liverpool fans last year when we were in this position. So you're getting a bit of a taste of your own medicine a little bit that you put forward last year. But at the same time, it is genuine because of all of these points that I'm saying. With Liverpool faltering, City faltering, no team realistically and historically putting together a good run of form to challenge Arsenal. I just think, I'm not saying it's over before it's over, but I'm just saying, like, I think after this weekend alone, the percentage, the chance, the likeliness of Arsenal being Premier League champions has just gone up to a whole new level. And that's sad. It's scary. It's annoying. It's frustrating. But it's the truth. I find it to be the truth. I find it to be the truth. And we're going to have to just get used to it. We're going to have to deal with it. We're going to have to look at it and be like, this is what we're going to put up with now. we've got to put up with all these weird little Arsenal fans coming back out of the gutter and telling us we were wrong. We may have to put up with that reality. Alex says that we need to keep Szoboszlai. I agree. Reluctant Gamer says that Arsenal will bottle it. You've got a good... I mean, I hope you're right, bro. I really do hope you're right. And I know we say this pretty much every year, but there doesn't seem to be a bigger or better opportunity for Arsenal to win it than this year. So if Arsenal don't win it this year, then Mikel Arteta will never win the Premier League title, ever, probably. So it's a very good opportunity for Arsenal. If they do bottle it this year, it'll be a massive bottle job, in my opinion. Like I say, unless there's some sort of major redemption from Liverpool, if there's some major return from Man City, I can't see Arsenal bottling it, in all honesty. Szoboszlai is so good, I agree. Victor Groceries brought the groceries home and cooked them. Like I say, there's still time for him to come good. But I do think Arteta is holding out for Havertz's return. I think Havertz's return is going to be big for Arteta. Unfortunate, bro. I hope you had a good birthday, though, other than the result. I hope you had a good birthday, my bro. Yes, to Brentford. Yeah, frustrating, annoying, but it is what it is. We're lacking defensively. We're lacking a cutting edge in attack. We're lacking balance in midfield. We're lacking everywhere, bro. I want Klopp back. I don't know. Chiesa as well. Yeah, Chiesa needs to play more. I agree. Could Bournemouth pull off a Leicester? I mean, I'm hoping if that... my hope is that obviously if Liverpool aren't the ones to win a Premier League title this year, that it would be an unlikely team to go and do it. I would like to see another Leicester season if Liverpool aren't going to win it. Obviously, I don't want City to win another title. I don't want Arsenal to win it because they're fat, or the majority of their fans are weird, should I say. I don't want to see Arsenal win it. I don't want to see a Chelsea or a Man United win it, obviously. So I would like to see another Leicester-type season if Liverpool aren't going to win it. Could it be Bournemouth? It would be phenomenal if it was, but I don't think they have enough. I don't think they have enough to do so. Completely agree, bro. I completely agree, but it's unlikely. Imagine Arsenal bottle it to Bournemouth. It would be amusing, but I can't see it happening. I still believe Liverpool can win the league. 7 points is not a lot at this early on. It's not, and I get where you're coming from, but I'm looking at the next few games in particular. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. They don't make for great reading. Let me just remind myself of them. So next Saturday, I'm talking mainly Premier League here. So I'm not going to even include... I'm not going to include Champions League or Carabao Cup. But next Saturday, we have Aston Villa. An Aston Villa side who just came off the back of winning 1-0 against Manchester City. Is anyone really confident that Liverpool will get a win there? Arsenal, by the way, on that same weekend, have Burnley. So we can pretty much guarantee that Arsenal will be stretching their lead over Liverpool on that very weekend alone. The next week, we take on Man City. Now, with our midfield and our defence being ran through like a hot knife through butter, even though Haaland does sort of struggle against Van Dijk and against the Liverpool defence, is anybody convinced that Haaland won't be able to score against this current Liverpool team. So again, I'm not convinced Liverpool will get the job done there either. When we come back after the international break, we have Nottingham Forest. Now, they are shockingly bad. They are shockingly bad. But it's after the international break. Liverpool notoriously do struggle against teams when they come back from international football. Sean Dyche is an awkward manager that, on a couple of occasions, has got the better over Liverpool and does seem to be awkward against them. Again, I should be confident going into that game, but I'm not. Then we have West Ham. Now, if we can't beat West Ham, even though last season when Nuno took over at Forest, he obviously got 4 points out of us last season. If we can't beat West Ham, I don't even know where we're going to be at that point. I would be worried. I would be terrified. We then face Sunderland and then Leeds. We've got a double header. We've got a double game week of Sunderland and Leeds. That is terrifying in of itself. I'm just saying, I'm worried. I'm genuinely worried. And like you say, 7 points at this stage, okay. It don't seem like a lot. But when you consider the games that we've got coming up, the games that Arsenal have got coming up, the way that Arsenal look right now, the way that we look right now, I can only see the points gap getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's unfortunate, it's horrible, but that's just the way that I see it. Prove me wrong. This is what I'm saying. I don't want this to be right. I want to be proven wrong. I want to be sat here in a month's time going, what the hell was I worried about? Liverpool are firing on all cylinders right now. Ekatike is challenging Haaland for top goal scorer. We've got Maranashvili, who is unstoppable in goal. Van Dijk's back to his best. Our midfield looks solid. Our defence looks as solid as it's ever been. I want to be saying that in about a month's time. But I don't think I will be. And that's just the sad reality of it. Van Dijk might be over his prime already. Not necessarily all on Van Dijk, bro. He's still good. Still very good. It's just he's being let down by those around him. He's not making the best decisions himself either. Don't get me wrong. He needs to definitely take a look at himself as well. But it's just a case of everybody's at fault. Big up Niche Fan is in the building. How you doing? Well, my bro. I genuinely thought you would dominate this season. You've completely fallen apart in the Prem. Isak is invisible. At least you've still got a fantastic... Can't even speak. At least you've still got fantastic hair. Thanks, bro. Look, Isak will come good. Isak will come good in the end. Whether it's under this manager or the next, he will come good. We've completely faltered. We've tried to change too much too soon, and it's backfired on us massively. And I think we've underestimated the transition that was going to happen this season. I think we've completely underestimated it. I think we thought that we could simply just change everything to a title-winning side and it'd be okay, and it'd be seamless, and it's worked out anything but seamless. So, in time, maybe it could change. Am I convinced that it would be under this manager? Maybe not. Slot said one factor of the mini crisis is because a lot of away games come thick and fast, and at home, Liverpool have been okay, aside from the Man United debacle. Slot needs to shut up, man. Slot needs to shut up. Like, last season... him going on in interviews and press conferences and things like that And he's basically there and he's analysing opposition defences, and he's looking at the way the opposition play and they line up. And he's looking at like little things and little bits that not many people would pick out. And he's going, here's where they're strong. Here's where they're weak. Here's where we need to attack. Here's where we need to defend and look solid in. And he's doing that, and it sounds great. And then this season, because things aren't going well, because things are falling apart, he's too busy talking. And the worst part for me is when he's basically highlighting our weaknesses. What is he doing? He's going, yeah, we have no answer to long throws or set pieces or long balls. We have no answer to that whatsoever. Does he not realise that he's the head coach who has to come up with the answer to those problems? How do you not have an answer to them? How is it that within 5 minutes, Brentford went 1-0 up from a long throw, which is not it's not like it's a secret weapon or anything. We all knew Brentford have a long throw merchant in their team. So what the hell are we doing? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But yeah, he's going out there and he's saying, yeah, we're basically trying to work on defending, but we're not very good at defending. We're trying to work on defending long balls and set pieces, but we're not very good at that either. And I don't know what to do, basically. Well, if you don't know what to do, get out and bring in someone who does know what they're doing. Because otherwise, what's the point of you being there? It doesn't make any sense to me. Nottingham free hit. Jesus Christ, dude. Jesus Christ, I don't go into any game confident anymore. It's not like last season. Not like last season at all. We've won 3 on the bounce and Amorim is firmly in charge. Glory days are coming back and we're getting the best stadium in the Premier League. Well, Tottenham had the best stadium in the Premier League, bro, and they're still Tottenham. Like I say, enjoy it. Enjoy it for while it lasts, bro. Enjoy it for while it lasts, because there's no guarantee it will last. So enjoy it. You'll be fine. We need to get rid of Slot. Big up Tony, by the way, who's in the chat. Lovely to have you here, my bro. Says that we need to get rid of Slot or we haven't got time to mess around. Give Oliver Glasner the call, and if we can't bring him in, then get Fabio Wang. I can't even speak. I can't speak. I put the hold on Glasner just a little bit. I put the hold on Glasner just a little bit. But I kind of said in my reaction the other day that, yeah, Slot for me. The thing I've said is that we've played 9 Premier League games, 3 Champions League games, and a Carabao Cup game. And if you want to include the Community Shield, we played a Community Shield game as well. So that's about 14, 15 games. And I've not seen any consistency, any improvement in this Liverpool team whatsoever. And that's worrying, because I thought we played okay in the Community Shield. I thought we played okay against Bournemouth. We were shocking against Newcastle. Our defence was okay against Arsenal, but our attack was poor. Our defence was good against Burnley, but our attack was poor there. First half was good against Everton, but the second half was shocking. We were shockingly bad all round against Palace. We were terrible against Chelsea. We were just abysmal against Man United. And on Saturday, apart from maybe 5 minutes of the game, we were terrible against Brentford. I've seen little to no improvement from this team, from Slot. And that makes me think like we should be seeing more now. We should be seeing a slightly more cohesive unit. I'm not saying perfection. I'm not saying it should be all round complete. But what I am suggesting is that we should be seeing the team that can pass from A to B, a team that can press in unison, a team that can be coefficient and coherent and just be a unit at times. And we're not seeing it. We're not seeing it at all. Our best performances came against Atletico and Frankfurt in the Champions League, where teams play slightly differently, but at the same time, we changed things up. We changed things up in those games. And then what did we do the game after? Went right back to type again. We changed things up. Went a bit more 4-4-2. We tried to move things a little forward, tried to be a bit more attacking, tried to be a bit more fluid. It worked. And then in the game after, we reverted back to type. Now, I get on Saturday, we didn't have Frimpong, we didn't have Isak. I get that. But you still had Federico Chiesa. You still had Joe Gomez. You still had options in those areas to use other than the ones that you actually want to use. You still had Andy Robertson to use instead of Kirkez. You decided to still use Kirkez. It's just little things like that are still doing my head in. You need to sell Salah to Saudi. You have to bring in Gehi, but he's going to cost 400 million spent, and you look awful. Van Dijk has lost it. It's not all on Van Dijk, bro. It's not all on Van Dijk. And we've probably lost out on Gehi now. Gehi's probably going to be going to Bayern Munich. So we've probably missed out on Gehi. And I don't know. No one can seriously be slot out. There are a few. And, I'll go back and forth over it over the past couple of days. I think I'm kind of in that camp, in all honesty, bro. I think I am. Normal order is being restored under Amorim, the rightful champions of the league. Man United will reign for a decade. Getting a bit ahead of yourself there, bro. But if you want to do that, that's fine. It will all come back to bite you. New Carrington, new stadium coming, and the best manager in the Prem. That's Man United. It's funny how you haven't been here for the past couple of weeks, bro. I mean, I know I've not been streaming as much the past couple of weeks, but I don't remember you being here last time. All of a sudden, 3 wins on the bounce, and you got this chest again. I'm just saying. Best manager in the Prem. Okay. Okay, bro. Whatever you say. Slot is a fraud. He's been found out. Slot out. Glasner, Wagner in. I'm not going to say he's a fraud. I think there is an okay manager in there. You know what I think it is with Slot? I think he is better at being the underdog rather than the favourite. I think he's better at being the underdog. Last season, no one gave him or Liverpool a chance. Everyone was saying the same thing. Everyone was saying that Liverpool would not be in a title race. Everyone was asking the question of Arnie who? They were saying Arnie who? Who is this Arnie Slot? Who is this guy? That was obviously the motive behind it. So it's not as if Slot is a fraud. It's not as if he's being found out. I just think he's a guy that is better punching upwards than he is punching downwards. Slot sounds like a genius during his presses when Liverpool are winning. Oh, yeah. Like I said, last season, he was a genius. Last season, he was absolutely incredible. But this season, he sounds like he's completely deluded. He sounds like he is... I always say, when a manager is losing the plot by some of his press conference answers. And right now, it sounds like he's losing it. It sounds like he's completely losing it. Slot has to go. He's been found out. He was riding on Klopp's coattails. I mean, not completely true. But at the same time, I'm sort of more leaning towards Slot out, to be honest. I don't believe in the new Man United will come before 2030, and when it does come, it will put a dent in the quality of the team due to overspending. they are still a good 4 or 5 years away, in my opinion, from properly sorting things out. Because we've seen Man United have good off seasons here and there, so they've still got a long way to go before what's the word? What I'm looking for. So they've still got a long way before we can start taking them seriously. Big up True Gooners in the chat. Lovely to have you here, my bro. Go and subscribe to True Gooners channel. Doing some incredible stuff over there. Obviously, if you haven't guessed already, he's an Arsenal fan. He does absolutely incredible content. There's something over there for everyone. So go and show my brother some love and some support over on True Gooners channel. He says, big up Fletch. Hope this is finally the year for us, but still early on. I'm waiting till April/May to really see what we're all about. I get that, but you could already have the title won by then. Like I say, if Liverpool continue to falter, if City continue to falter, and if the other teams that are sort of in and around you right now kind of fall off a little bit, as they are kind of expected to as the season goes on, if you maintain your consistency, your star players don't get injured, I think it could be won by like January, February time, in all honesty, my bro. We'd like Glasner at a bigger club, with all due respect to Palace. Even yesterday against us, Glasner gave us our toughest game of the season so far. Glasner. It's difficult with Glasner. You never know with these types of clubs whether it's about, again, they're better at punching up than punching down. But Glasner is a very, very good manager. And obviously he is holding out for something bigger and better than Palace, with all due respect. So we shall see what happens with Glasner. But it's going to be interesting to see where he does go. When is Isak back? I think after the international, or before the international break, maybe the City game. I think. I'm not actually 100% sure. Isak. Let's just have a quick look. I don't think they actually know properly, but I would probably say it may be either the City game or it may actually be the game after. I'm not 100% sure. We shall see. You've got Wirtz and made him look awful, playing him all over the place. This is what I'm saying, man. Square pegs, round holes. Been saying it. We're playing him alongside Curtis Jones in midfield. Like, that's going to help Wirtz get any better. Like, his best performances have come when he's been behind Isak. So play him alongside Isak. It just makes so much sense. Like, it's not rocket science when you think about it. Play him behind Isak. Simple. You've got a striker that wants to get in behind, with a player who wants to therefore use the space that the striker frees up with his movement and his positioning to then play that striker in behind the opposition defence. It makes so much sense. But apparently that's too difficult for Slot to even comprehend. Voltameda looks amazing. He's had a very good start. Slot won the league in his first season. Let's see what he wins in his second. Even if he wins nothing, he might learn and have a treble-winning third year. Give him time. I don't think you can have time in this scenario, I don't think you can have time in this scenario. I think with everything that we've spent, and I know we've done it very quickly because, let's face it, 450 million, you could essentially go, right, well, that's half of last year's transfer budget on top of this year's transfer budget. You could look at it as like over 1 year or 2 years, it doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is that 450 million spent and you're faltering like this. Like, if we were to lose the title by like a point or on goal difference or something, you could maybe look at it and go, okay, we just got a little bit unlucky, but you know what? Next year is probably going to be the year that we absolutely kill it. You could go, okay, that's cool. But we're 7 points behind Arsenal already. 7 points behind Arsenal already. And like I say, it's probably going to get even worse over the next month or so. It's probably going to get even worse with some of our big games coming up. And that's not to even mention the fact that we're going to be playing 2 games a week constantly now until at least the middle/end of January, with obviously Champions League, Carabao Cup, and maybe even the odd Premier League game midweek here and there as well. So 2 games a week is coming up. Other competitions are going to be in the mix as well. We've got proper issues coming up on the horizon that we really need to combat and combat quickly. Like, there's a lot there. There's a lot there for us to look at, and there's a lot there for us to be worried about. Josh asks, how long are Liverpool fans willing to give Slot? If a manager like Luis Enrique becomes available, you snap your hand off from 100%. If Luis Enrique became available tomorrow, I would genuinely be praying, hoping. I would be writing letters, emails, and everything for Liverpool to go and get Luis Enrique. That would be 100% what I would be hoping and praying for. I don't think it would necessarily happen. But at the same time, I would be hoping for Luis Enrique. Look, I think vast majority of Liverpool fans are probably going to give him more time. For me personally, I'm of the impression that I see him as being an underdog manager rather than a favourite. I'm under the impression that we should be seeing a lot more from him and from the team right now than what we are seeing. I just don't think. I just don't think he's that guy. I just don't think he's the guy to carry this team forward. I think he would be great for. I think he'd be great for someone like a Brentford, a Bournemouth, a punching above their weight team, a Fulham, maybe. Someone that may be on the verge of getting into some sort of European competition. But I don't know. I just don't think he's the kind of guy to be like, right, I'm the top dog, I'm the favourite. It's time to act like it. I just don't think he's that guy. Interesting. I thought Slot only knows how to be the favourite and the underdog, not so much, but you might be right. It's just the way that I see it. Like, I could be wrong. I could be just talking absolute nonsense as per usual. But like I said, last season, the perfect scenario happened for Liverpool because we weren't the title favourites. We weren't the title favourites, but the perfect solution happened for Liverpool because City fell off. And because City fell off, it opened the gateway for Liverpool to be consistent. And we were consistent. And that's our doing. We were consistent, not because of anybody else, but because of us. But we also were allowed to have that a little bit more easier because there was not as much pressure had there been someone challenging. So in previous years of Klopp versus Guardiola, we had pressure because Guardiola would put pressure on Klopp. Klopp would put pressure on Guardiola, and vice versa. We didn't really have that as much last season. We didn't really have that as much last season. There was still pressure to go and win the game, but because obviously City had faltered and fell off massively, and because Arsenal were therefore expected to take over from City and dethrone them if there was to be a new champion crown for that season. It was expected to be Arsenal, but because Arsenal kept on slipping up every now and again, the pressure wasn't as much on Liverpool as it potentially could have or should have been. But this year, with 450 million being spent in the transfer window, with us winning the Premier League title last season, now the pressure's really on. Now the pressure's there. And he just hasn't handled it so far. So far. Everyone is just going long ball against you lot. You've had your fun. Now the party's over. Everyone's going long ball against us because Arne Slot keeps pointing out we can't deal with going long ball. He's going in press conferences and going, yeah, we struggle with teams going long ball against us. We struggle. And opposition teams are going like, well, we know what we're doing then. It must be the easiest job in the world to kind of be a scout when Liverpool are coming up, because Arne Slot basically tells you what we are poor at, what our weaknesses are. You know, like a video game boss. You know, like if a video game boss, right, has got like a giant weakness that you're meant to target, but that giant weakness is like a big glowing patch on like its body or whatever. That's basically Arne Slot. Arne Slot is basically going out in press conferences going, you see this giant patch that's glowing? It's a weakness of ours. There's no protection in front of it. There's nothing that we are looking to do to combat opposition defenses, opposition attacks, penetrating that area. We're just going to offer it up. We're just going to sacrifice it. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's not even like it's trying to like lure people into a false sense of security or anything like that. He's basically going, this is our weakness. We don't know how to reinforce it. We don't know how to protect it. So this is our weakness. Don't exploit it. God forbid, that would be wrong of you to exploit it. But we're not going to do anything to try and stop you from exploiting it because we don't know how. Like, he's completely lost it. He's completely lost it. Cunha and Ekatike Cunha and Buemo make Ekatike and Salah look like Division 1 players. Oh yeah, the same Cunha who's only scored, one goal this season, and that came on Saturday. And then Buemo, who only scored his first goal for United against us last week. And basically that goal shouldn't have counted anyway. Okay. I mean, Ekatike alone is better, but whatever you say, bro. We're getting Kane as well we're getting Kane as well, as far as I understand. Probably not. He'll probably go back to Tottenham, to be fair. He might go back to Tottenham now. Now that he's won a league, he might actually go back to Tottenham. We'll see. Are Man United actually getting a new stadium? Yeah, they're getting some sort of circus tent. They're getting some sort of circus tent to go along with, the clown show at Old Trafford. So, Anfield is a beautiful stadium, but compared to the new Trafford, it's going to look like Blundell Park. Just because you've got a new stadium, bro, doesn't mean anything. I mean, Everton got a new stadium. Spurs got a new stadium. West Ham got a new stadium all those years ago for the Olympic Stadium. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, bro. So we shall see. Slot or Xavi? I don't even know. Because I think Xavi's good, but I don't know if he's any better than Slot. I don't know. I don't know. They're 7 points behind with an awful goal difference. You are not winning not winning the season. Arsenal will win. You want to know the funny thing about our opening 5 games of the season? Our opening 5 games of the season, our XG suggests that we shouldn't have got any of those points, and yet the last 4 games, our expected goals at states that we should have probably got more points than what we actually have accumulated. It's just bizarre, isn't it? We've gone from undeserving, being undeserving in terms of our chances created, getting points, to being maybe more deserving and still getting nothing. It's just mad how football works sometimes. Absolutely mad how footballing works. But yeah, we're 7 points behind. It's only going to get worse. We're not winning the title this year. I've come to terms with that over the course of the past couple of days. And now I've got to come to terms with the fact that Arsenal are probably going to become Premier League champions. Arsenal fans are going to be unbearable, even more unbearable than most of them actually are. Not all Arsenal fans, but most of them. Yeah, we've got to come to terms with that. We've got to come to terms with that. Slot has the Dutch openness and directness. Thing is, it wasn't like that last season. Last season, we had a lot of control on games. Last season, we attacked as a team and we defended as a team. Last season, we pressed when we needed to press. We had the intensity when we needed to be intense, and we gave up possession when we needed to. This season, he's changed everything. We are now a team that has the majority of possession. Why? Why? We can't make it work. We can't pass from A to B, so what's the point in us having possession? Give up possession. Let the opposition come on to us and we'll try and hit them on the counter. It's mad. It's mad how, and I said this again in my reaction video, it's mad how we looked better with the likes of Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez than we do right now. It's mad how he went last year from having mediocre ingredients with the odd quality ingredient mixed in, like a Mo Salah, like an Alisson, like a Van Dijk, how he had those kind of ingredients mixed in with a lot of mediocre ingredients and came out with incredible 5-star meals. And this year, he's got rid of a large number of mediocre ingredients, brought in some quality nutritional value ingredients, and instead of cooking these 5-star gourmet meals, even better than what the ones he was making last year, he's decided, I'm going to cook up some salmonella instead. What is this guy on? What is this guy on? Seriously. Xavi is good. I think he may be a little overrated, but he's all right. Big up Alf is in the chat. How you doing? Well, my bro. Lovely to have you here. Remember, they are bottle jobs. Yeah. I hope you're right, bro. I hope you're right. Sunderland League title before GTA 6. Again, I hope you're right. If it's not going to be Liverpool, I'd rather it be someone like Sunderland, and that would actually be incredible. That would be incredible for the Newcastle fans that really, really did annoy me over the summer. that would be that would be amazing for them. Like, obviously, it would be embarrassing for Liverpool still. It would be embarrassing for Arsenal. It would be embarrassing somewhat for Man City, and maybe even for Man United to an extent, and for everybody in the league, to be fair. But none more so than Newcastle. None more so than Newcastle. That would be very much embarrassing for them. Love you here. Come and support the Real Reds. No, because I'm fine with Liverpool. Thanks, bro. I'm fine with Liverpool. Your team is still in the mud. As much as like your past 3 games have been great, you're almost like a ticking time bomb, where maybe a bad result or two, things might go back to normal. So, like I say, don't get ahead of yourselves. Don't get ahead of yourselves just yet. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy it while it lasts. It's all good. But the potential of you being a ticking time bomb, as seen in the past year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, past over a decade, suggests that that may actually be the truth. GTA 6 will be delayed, I reckon. Probably. It probably will be. Big game, ambitious game. And usually games now do get pushed back. So, yeah, probably will be, unfortunately. But it's what it is. Cost the sack slot? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much it would be. Well, I've just typed it into Google and it says that it would potentially be about 11 million. Which still is like 4 million less than what we had to sack Brendan Rodgers for. How the hell did Brendan Rodgers get that? How the hell did he get that much amount of compensation? 15.5 million in compensation for Brendan Rodgers. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That's bad. That is really bad. But it is what it is. It is what it is. That's not good. Sack him then. It's not my decision. I don't even know who would get to replace him, to be fair. Because it's not always about just sacking the manager. That's like too easy. You've got to obviously make it worthwhile. You can't do what Forest did. Sack Nuno and bring in Postecoglou for no reason other than to be weird. You've got to at least have a plan. And as Josh said earlier, who would be that person to come in? Now, I would love it to be Luis Enrique, but I highly doubt Enrique would leave where he's currently at right now. So, as much as I maybe slot out, I also don't know who we would bring in. Klopp, everybody is seemingly on the Klopp hype train, especially after the interview came out last week in which he said that, you know, he'd be open to returning to Liverpool at some point. So everybody was like, oh, this could be something to look at and a thread to pull if obviously the slot thing doesn't work out. I'm not necessarily all for managers or players going back to going back to their old club. I'm not always for that. So I'd always be looking to say move forward, move on. And I don't know. As of right now, I'm not 100% sure who I would choose, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure who I would choose, to be honest. There's a lot of managers, there's a lot of doubts, but there's also a lot of potential. It's just about working out who would be. It would just be about working out, is there more potential than doubt, or is there more doubt than potential? Thoughts on Haaland FC having scored 0 non-Haaland goals in the Premier League in October? I did mention City last week, and I think maybe the week before, maybe in previous streams as well. That as much as Haaland is exceptional, and as much as he's phenomenal, I've said that my biggest concern for City is what happens when the Haaland goals dry up. I said that, is there someone there who is ready to step up and deliver a similar sort of output in his absence? And this weekend told me there's not necessarily going to be that. So, yeah, it's concerning for City. It's concerning. They need to find a way for someone to step up if Haaland isn't going to have the same influence that he's had so far this season. But as an individual, Haaland's been exceptional so far this season. But Sunday, he and City both stuttered, and it cost them. It cost them big time. Because there's just no one on that team with the same level of output. They struggle and they falter. You'll never get an Enrique. You should get Klopp back ASAP. I mean, I wouldn't say Enrique's completely out of the question. Maybe for right now he is, but who knows? Maybe in a year or two. Maybe he decides he wants a new challenge. Maybe he wants to move on from PSG. Who knows? Bet you'd love Amorim. No. There was a time where he was at Sporting where I was coming around to the idea of Ruben Amorim. And since he's gone to Man United, no, can't say I do. Can't say I do. Amorim will completely scary Sporting 2.0 with us in a year. Then we're untouchable. Again, bro, if you want to get ahead of yourself way too much, way too far, way too quickly with all of that stuff, then go ahead. But just don't be prepared to flip-flop when it does come back to haunt you. It's all good, though. We'll keep the receipts, but don't come back with never trusted him, never liked him, never wanted him, and all of that stuff. So good luck with that. You're getting Wharton as well. Okay, bro. And we're getting a time machine that will take us back and get prime Lionel Messi. Okay. You're getting Adam Wharton. We're getting prime Lionel Messi. And while we're at it as well, we may as well go and get all the other world-class players that were in their prime whilst we've got that special time machine. You're not getting Wharton, bro. You're not getting Wharton. Foden can't score. Marmoush, Shirky, O'Reilly on the bench. Kovacic, most goals outside of the box last season on the bench. Pep is losing his mind, I think. I think they're just suffering from poor recruitment. I mean, I'm a little surprised. I thought Shirky would have been a lot better than what he's proven to be this season. I think that because of the kind of discount price tag that City managed to buy him for, I think he's going a little bit under the radar. Foden's fallen off a cliff since the end of, not last season, but the year before. O'Reilly's still young. Kovacic, I think he's been better than what I would have imagined him to be at City. But then again, I wasn't expecting him to be that special at City. But it's crazy that he's become like a solid enough midfielder for them. They're just struggling from poor recruitment. They're just struggling from poor recruitment over the past few years. That's their biggest issue. Marco says Postecoglou to Liverpool. The only positive I can say about Postecoglou to Liverpool is that at least we will score more goals And there's a good possibility that he may get the best out of the likes of Isak and Florian Wirtz. The downside to having Postecoglou is that our defense would be somehow even worse than what it is right now, which is saying something. And the fact that all of our players will be dropping down with hamstring injuries. So, whilst it might be okay for some of the big name players that we signed this summer, the attacking ones, it's not going to be great for some of the other players in the team. So, it is what it is. Am I the only one in the world who doesn't rate Wharton? I wouldn't say you're the only one in the world, but I rate him. I think he's perfect for what Liverpool are looking for in a midfielder. Someone that wants to actually take the ball off of our defenders and actually look to go forward with it. It sounds so simple, but no one other than Curtis Jones in our midfield wants to do that. Not even McAllister does right now. No one wants to do it in our midfield. And when Slot decides to throw on 6 attackers and leave 1 midfielder on the pitch, I have to question, how are we going to get the ball from defence to attack? Because we can't go through the midfield with it because we've got no one who wants to do that. So I think he's perfect for what we want. You're definitely not getting Wharton. I think we stand a good chance. Not the best right now, and maybe depending on how we finish the season, it might obviously hinder us if we don't obviously get Champions League football. But we've got a good chance. Right now. Shirky has 1 goal in only 90 minutes, though Shirky has barely played because Pep is starting Savio. Savio's another one, man. I thought he looks good in spells, but he seems to be another one that looks good on the eye, but has got no output. Jeremy Doku's like that as well. Jeremy Doku is good on the eye, but has very little to no output. There's a lot of players like that, and they get by on the eye test, and people are like, "Oh yeah, but he looks great and he's technically gifted." Okay, but what's his output like? Does he have good output? Is he constantly creating good opportunities? Is he assisting? Is he goal scoring? Well, what's the point of him then? Savio is unfortunate. Shirky needs to be played more. And I think Shirky's only goal came in the 4-0 victory at the beginning of the season against Wolves, didn't it? I'm pretty sure that was Shirky's only goal. So it's been a while. And like I say, I think that obviously if Leon hadn't been in the financial problems that they had been, I think maybe Shirky's price tag would have been higher. And maybe we would be speaking more about Shirky, but we're not right now. Players come to the new Carrington and are blown away with the quality. We can sign anyone we want now. I mean, happens in a lot of other places as well, bro. Happens in a lot of other places as well. And again, you were still using the Man United name of years gone by. So you were still signing players from years gone by. It's just that they weren't turning out to be very good because your club's not very good. And everything that you touch turns crap. As I understand it, Amorim has demanded Wharton. It's non-negotiable. Okay, but does Wharton want to go to United? It could be non-negotiable for United to go and get him, but if he don't want to go there because he's got other options that are available to him, what's he gonna do? What is Amorim gonna do? Nothing. There's nothing he can do. There you go. Nothing he can do about it if you don't want to go. Like, I think you'd be foolish not to be interested in him. I think a lot of clubs would be foolish not to be interested in Adam Wharton. But at the same time, like, only one team is going to get him. He's probably not going to stay on at Crystal Palace this year. He probably is going to go. And you're probably going to be left in a situation where he's probably not going to go to Man United. If he does, fair enough, fair play, whatever. It is what it is. The problem with the eye test is that poison food doesn't always look bad. Very true. PSG and Man City saved Lyon from FFP with that money. Didn't Forest do that as well to help get Lyon back into the Europa League in exchange for them getting into the Europa League, and obviously Crystal Palace going to the Europa Conference League? Oh dear. Something like that anyway. We're selling Mainu and Xerxes. Wharton will be here in the summer to replace Casemiro. Again, you can sell the players that you want and you can go after Wharton as much as you want. But again, if Wharton doesn't want to go to United because Wharton may see his future being elsewhere, nothing you can do about it, my dude. If he wants to stay at Palace as well, that could be an option. I doubt it. Depends, obviously, what happens with the new manager because Glasner's not staying. But it doesn't really matter what you guys do. It's what Wharton wants. Wharton might be, considering his options abroad. Maybe he's going to go to Real Madrid. Maybe he might go to Bayern Munich. Maybe if he will just want to stay in this country, Arsenal might come in for him. Could be a possibility. Maybe Arsenal, maybe Man City. Could potentially still be Liverpool. We shall see. What if Wharton wants to stay at Crystal Palace because he loves the club? Alan Shearer wasted his career at Newcastle. Vardy spent his career at Leicester. Players don't always move up. Very true. Very true. Not every player wants to leave. Not every player has a desire to leave. Some players, they do want to stay with the club that gave them an opportunity, gave them a chance, and try and repay their respects and their loyalty. So, so you are right. It is, and obviously it does sort of depend on the club's financial situation, I guess, and not just their financial situation, but where they are heading as a club as well. So there are plenty of factors, but it's not at the realms of possibility for someone like Adam Wharton to turn around and go, you know what, I actually do want to stay at Palace. So you could be right there, my friend. You could be right. It's between Real Madrid and us for Wharton. He wants to stay in England. He's not considering a move to Anfield. I mean, I somewhat respect that you wear your heart on your sleeve and you will back your club. But to sit there, to genuinely sit there and go, yeah, it's a toss-up between Real Madrid and Man United. As if any player in their right mind is going to choose Man United right now over Real Madrid. I don't know. There's like a certain level of delusion there, I think. There's a certain level of delusion, certain level of weirdness there. Like, I somewhat respect and admire the kind of loyalty you show to your club, but to sit there and go that if he's going to stay in England, it's only United. No. And if it is going to be between someone and someone else, he's going to maybe pick United over, of all teams, Real Madrid. Your logic is bizarre to me. Why stay at Palace? He wants to win major honours. Our project is tangible and ambitious. Your projects have been tangible and ambitious for over 10 years, bro. And the most you've got out of it is an FA Cup and a Europa League. So, yeah. Again, you're running before you can walk, bro. Enjoy the moment, but don't get too ahead of yourselves, because one or two bad results and you're right back to square one again. Just stay calm. I know it's been a while since you've last won 3 on the bounce. And I know you got a bit giddy and you got a bit, a bit happy about it. And, you may have lost it over the weekend and gone a bit too crazy. You may have had 1 or 2 extra Ribenas that have, that you've been down in since. And, may have gone a bit over the top in that aspect. And you may be on a bit of a sugar rush. But just relax a little bit, It's great what you're doing right now. You actually were very much worthy of that win against Brighton. Fair play. But like I said before, just hold your horses, calm down a little bit, and just realize that you've been in this situation time and time again. It's cool. Chill your boots. Zubimandi didn't want to go to England either. Yeah, he wanted to stay for the Spanish mountains and the paella and everything else, apparently, before moving on anyway the next year to, of all clubs, Arsenal. Arsenal, where his job is to win corners. That's his job. Win corners and win free kicks. I'm joking, obviously. I'm joking. I have no problem, by the way, with Set Piece FC. I have no problem. I will say it as a bit of banter. I'll say it as a bit of a joke. But for the most part, look, there's more than one way to win a football match. And Arsenal have managed to find an incredibly consistent way of doing so with set pieces. And it may not, it's not to my personal preference as to how I would like, if I was managing a team, it's not how I would like to win things and win trophies and things like that. But at the same time, it is something that obviously works for them. It's something that has been a useful asset for them to have in their team. And overall, look, I will say it. I said it before and I'll say it again. I, for the life of me, cannot understand how Arsenal have been so consistent and so incredible from set pieces that other teams haven't followed suit. That's my one biggest misunderstanding, and just I don't get it with this whole set piece thing. My biggest gripe is, why has no one else followed suit? How is it only Arsenal that are able to find incredible consistency from set pieces, but no other team goes, yeah, well, we should do this. We should do this a lot. We should basically watch what they're doing and do that and copy that. Because surely it can't just be Arsenal that have found this secret. Surely other teams must have the ability to kind of copy what they're doing. It really does, like, I just don't get it. This is completely different. Amorim is monitoring Wharton, and it's entirely possible we are in the advanced stages of agreeing personal terms of him. Yeah, because you're the only team, you're the only manager, you're the only club that's going to be in that position, bro. You're the only club that has seen this not so hidden gem in Adam Wharton that you are going to be in this position to try and sign him going forward. Like, you wanted Belieber in the summer, bro. You wanted Carlos Belieber in the summer. So, you know, I think it will either be one or the other. You'll either go for Belieber or Wharton. But at the end of the day, like, you're not going to be like the only team that is monitoring and scouting Adam Wharton, or maybe even talking to his representatives and to his people. You're not going to be that only team, bro. There's going to be others. That's my point. Apparently London has great mountains and tasty paella. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. The problem with set pieces, with Set Piece FC, is that when it's figured out, December, January, it takes months to get a new routine set up. It's fine to have a great set piece, but you can't rely on it. Well, all Arsenal do is they put it right on the goalkeeper. They put an in-swinging corner on the goalkeeper, and it's usually Gabriel or Timber that manages to get their head on it. And I don't understand how, A, you can't defend that, or B, other teams can't use that when they're attacking from their own set pieces. It frustrates me that Liverpool have so many set pieces and we very rarely make them count as much as what we should when we have so many. It's why I had to like rub my eyes and be like, what the hell did I just witness when we scored from 2 against Frankfurt the other night? I genuinely couldn't believe we scored from 2 set pieces, back to back, by the way, against Frankfurt. Because we don't normally do that. We don't normally do that. But yet Arsenal have found a way to be so consistent with it. And rather than go, all right, let's see how they do it and let's see if we can replicate it for our own team, everybody's going, well, that's just stupid. That's just ridiculous. You can't rely on that. Well, it's working for them because the amount of set piece goals that they've scored is incredible. And not just that as well, but their open play goals is, if it was like a league table of open play goals, they're quite low down, I believe, in that realm. But it doesn't matter because their set pieces is such a massive weapon for them. So it doesn't matter. They're getting the job done by some way, somehow. Arsenal puts more resources into their set pieces than other teams. They have multiple data analysis and coaches for just set pieces. Other clubs use those resources for general play. It doesn't take a lot to do a training ground routine. I can't imagine it would take... I feel like that may be overcomplicating it a little bit to put it all down to, you know, data analysis and coaches like that. It doesn't take a lot for a training ground routine to look at the way the opposition set up, to look at the way that you could set up to combat it and being like, right, this is how we're going to set up in the box against this opposition. This is how we're going to set up in the box against this opposition. Because Arsenal's set piece routine is pretty much the same. Arsenal's set piece routine is basically put it on the goalkeeper and let Gabriel or Timber attack it. Why can't anyone else find that consistency? Well, especially when you consider, like, again, to use Liverpool as a prime example, you have a 6'5" beast in Konate. You have a absolute colossus in Virgil van Dijk, and you cannot make the vast majority of your set pieces count with those two in particular in the air. What are we playing at? Manchester is a better place to live than London, in my opinion. I think Adam has been up here and seen the beautiful city we have and its surroundings. I mean, okay. I don't even know where to go with this, to be honest. It's so ridiculous. They're going to end up with Amadou Onana. I mean, he's not a bad player. He's not a terrible player, Amadou Onana, but it wouldn't surprise me if someone like that. Yeah. Especially because Baliba's gone off the boil a little bit. Baliba's gone off the boil a little bit this season. I still think there's a good player in there, and obviously he's still relatively young, so they could definitely get more out of him. But it genuinely wouldn't surprise me if that was to happen. Someone like that for United. Adam is a very private person, and Cheshire's Golden Triangle is objectively an excellent place for him to live. Peace and tranquility is what he craves. We have it ready and waiting for him. Right. Peace and tranquility. You do realise peace and tranquility at Man United does not exist. Because you put that target on your back yourselves when you constantly proclaim we're the best team in the world, we're the best team in England, yada, yada, yada. When you say stuff like that, you put a big target on your back. Peace and tranquility doesn't work. You want to know why I know peace and tranquility doesn't work at your club? 2 words. Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford. That guy could not breathe without something being made about him in the media, in the press, or whatever it may be. So there is nothing to do with peace and tranquility at Manchester United. You just have to try and protect it as much as you can. And your club doesn't do that. Just saying. I think football tactics are like chess. If you don't understand chess at a high level, you don't realize how complicated a strategy might be. If it was so simple, other clubs would copy it, in my opinion. I mean, maybe. Now you said it, maybe. But I don't know. I don't understand how other way I can see it. I genuinely don't know how else I can see it, because I'm looking at these set piece routines, and I'm going, why can't we do that? We have players that are similar to Timber, similar to Gabriel. We had one of the best set piece takers in the world in Trent not so long ago that could have or should have put the ball right on their heads for us to score more set pieces, but we didn't. And now, for whatever reason, we've got Gakpo taking corners, which is weird. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it. Maybe you're right. Maybe I am oversimplifying it. But the fact of the matter is like, I don't get how a team like Arsenal has managed to find set pieces to be relatively straightforward. And I don't remember ever seeing a team, any team for that matter, past or present, exploit and be as consistent with set pieces as what Arsenal are right now. It just seems very strange to me. I'm not knocking it. If anything, I applaud it. If anything, I'm jealous of it. But I don't know. It just seems bizarre to me, man. It just seems very bizarre to me. Onana has got an insane bozo gene. He really does. Which one? Andre, yes, definitely. If you want peace and tranquility, go to a mid-table team that has no expectations. There you go. Well, I think Josh should be the Liverpool manager for 12 months and on a £5 million contract, so we can find out if he's right or not. There you go. I'm talking about Cheshire's golden triangle. It's quiet and peaceful, perfect for Adam. Then he's got New Carrington to go to every day and relax in tranquil surroundings. You know, a lot of Liverpool players live in Cheshire as well. So, you know, go down to Liverpool's training ground every day. You know, peace and tranquility definitely surrounds them there because there's very rarely any bad stories about Liverpool players unless they are playing poorly on the pitch, which they are right now. But as far as their personal lives go, it's pretty much quiet. It's pretty much straightforward. And if he does like that peaceful life, like you say, then there's no doubt about it that he will get it at Liverpool. But I guess that doesn't fall into your weird narrative that only Man United are interested. Only Man United have got the brains to actually be interested. No one else is looking to him, that kind of thing. But I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there as a point of reference. Ugh. Have you seen Haaland's YouTube video? These footballers are some of the richest people in the world. They can find peace and tranquility in the middle of the gulag. I mean, yeah. I don't know what he's waffling about, to be fair. I genuinely don't know what he's waffling about, to be fair. But no, we shall see what happens with Adam Wharton. Like I say, I think he will leave Crystal Palace in the summer. But I genuinely don't know where he'll go. I don't know where he'll go. But I think a lot will depend on who gets what this season in terms of, you know, who gets Champions League, who doesn't get Champions League and all of that stuff. But yeah, I'm interested to find out. I'm interested to find out. The commute from Cheshire's Golden Triangle to Old Trafford is shorter than to Anfield. Who cares? Who cares? Just leave a few minutes earlier. Who cares? Like I say, I don't know what the whole idea is here about this whole Adam Wharton thing. But like, if anyone's not interested, I question why. But you're making out like United are the only team to be interested. United are in an advanced position to sign him, and I'm simply calling that out as to not being completely factual. Like I don't get what this whole prop is. I genuinely don't. It's weird to me. But the overarching point, to get back to the original point, is that Arsenal, for me, are in pole position. Arsenal are favourites for the title. Arsenal are looking impenetrable. Arsenal are looking well balanced. The only thing that you could maybe criticise Arsenal for is that they don't put away enough chances. They don't put teams to the sword enough. And that could potentially come back to bite them as the season wears on, because they're not always going to get that amount of maybe chances or luck to put teams away. And maybe, you know, scoring the odd goal here and there may not be enough to win some matches, even if they do look comfortable for the most part. All it takes is one chance, one opportunity for the opposition to get something. And maybe against the run of play, they make that chance count. But overall, it's it's probably going to be Arsenal's for the taking. All I will say is to certain Arsenal fans that said a lot about Liverpool's title win last year, don't be surprised and don't cry if certain fans come at you with certain excuses that you were producing last year. So, you know, if City fans or Liverpool fans come at you with, oh, well, we've had injuries. Oh, well, you've had referee calls. Oh, well, you've had this, you've had that. Don't cry, because most of you were saying those kind of things last year when Liverpool were running away with the title themselves. So we're just giving you a little bit of our own medicine back on that. But you won't hear it from me. I'll always try and call it as honestly and as properly as I can. But yeah, I'd say that Arsenal are the favourites. Barcelona has signed Haaland 5 times already, according to these journos. Don't take anything from the media too seriously. 100%, especially Spanish media. Spanish media are very, very pro Madrid and pro Barcelona. They will do and use anything and everything to get to basically play the mind games and to try and get their team to get what they want. Even during the whole Trent thing, we knew for the most part Trent wanted to leave, and as time wore on, that became more and more evident. But when it was still somewhat hanging more and more in the balance, it was seemingly obvious that it was more of a media-driven thing than something that they actually knew for sure. So, yeah, when it comes to the media, take it all with a pinch of salt. Unless you hear it from the player's mouths, or someone with a bit more integrity, someone with a bit more credibility. For the most part, don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you read. Just mellow out, chill out, and just calm yourselves. Right, seems to be a good point to end. So thank you all so much for watching and for listening. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to come and listen to me ramble for a good just over an hour and a half. Really do appreciate you all being here. Make sure you're hitting that like button on the way out. Make sure you're subscribing on the way out as well. If you're new or want to see more content like this, both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. So thank you. I'll be back maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, live stream wise, talking. Should we talk more Liverpool tomorrow? Or maybe some breaking news if there is some breaking news in between. Maybe some more Liverpool. May talk more Liverpool tomorrow. We talk a lot about Arsenal today. May talk more Liverpool tomorrow. Slot in, slot out. Issues are plenty with players. Issues plenty with the way we're set up and things like that. So we'll probably talk more about Liverpool tomorrow. As always, though, guys, make sure you're having a good day. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. And I will see you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.